Hello everybody, Average Gamer. Welcome to a quick patch review. That's up right, a patch review for patch 1.4.65. So what are we going to do in this patch? Well, obviously this is the big patch. It's got all the stuff for faction play and all that stuff, aka community warfare. But what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of break down the patch a little bit in a couple different videos. First one here is going to basically be a review of the normal stuff. So we're looking at gameplay fixes, tournament support pack, the end of round booster, new mechs available for C-bills, map fixes, met fixes, other fixes, and known issues with this video or with this with this patch. So the first thing obviously is something that we already knew. The zoom is now going to be player based, not server based. When you hit it, it doesn't tell the server, hey, player hit zoom, and then it zooms when the server goes, okay. Now, when you hit it, it zooms in immediately. That's pretty good. AMS overload module no longer actually does more, basically, but increases your rate of fire. It basically increases the damage by almost 2, temporarily, obviously. Inner sphere PVCs, the heat generation has been reduced from 10 to 9.5, so not that much. But velocity has been increased by 100 meters a second. It's going from 1100 to 1200 meters a second. Inner sphere ER PPC, heat's gone from 15 to 14. Velocity as well increased by 100 meters a second from 1200 meters a second to 1300 meters a second. Clan, exactly the same thing. Inner sphere LBX10, the projectile spread. So the cone there has been reduced from 0.45 meters to 0.35 meters, so 0.1 reduction there. The LBX5 for clans has been reduced from 8.5 to 6.5, so 0.2 reduction there. And then the big one, the LBX10, it's going from 1.3 meters spread on the LBX10 to 0.9 meters. That's the big one, obviously, right there for the LBX for the clans. And then the LBX20 is going from 1.4 meters to 1. So obviously the LBX2 is now going to have the hit area of the LBX10. The LBX10 will hit the hit area of the LBX5 almost, and then the LBX2 will, that's it. There won't really be much. So there is also a requirkening as well. We're going to go into that momentarily, but we're going to look at some domination mode changes. So Alpine Peaks, they've changed the capture point, and they've also modified some of the spawn points, and Crimson Strait. Frozen Colony, both spawn points and domination point has been modified a little bit. Burning Bog, the Eastern team spawn points been moved slightly further away. Now you can click the domination, clicking the domination score in the HUD. In the escape stream, I'll reveal dialogue explaining the HUD components. Kind of useless. Conquest mode changes itself. HPG manifold, you can't catch theta from above anymore, and then terratherm, you can't capture theta from below. Didn't even know you could do that. Guess you can. In private test maps fixes, so the 1v1 match, they've made some changes in the train height. Hills are now steeper. Pillars are moved more closer to the center. 2v2 map, they've done more heights as well. Hills are steeper. Blocks have been broken up a little bit. On the 4v4 map, variations in terrain height. They've just changed terrain height here and there. And then the 4v4-2 map, basically now, it's not a free-for-all type spawn. It's now everyone spawns in the lands that they're in. Next part is the end of round booster. Basically, you have the ability, if you don't have MC, if you're not on premium time, you can spend 50 MC for that match, getting the bonuses you would if you had, premium time. In my eyes, not worth it unless you do, like, say, 1,000 plus damage, and you're usually doing, 200 or 300. And it's very rare for you, then maybe it's worth it. The Marauder, now available for C-bills. It's 6.5 million for the 3R, 10.9 million for the 5D, and a 10.7 for the 5M. I fucking love my Marauder, so it's pretty good. Tons, and I mean tons of map changes. For Caustic Valley, there's an issue where people could get stuck in a crevice. They fixed that. Crimson Strait, there's some issues with fences and buildings. They fixed that. Let's see here. People get stuck on top of a building because apparently there was an issue with one of the buildings. They fixed that. Grim Plexus, whole bunch of fixes for the crystal walls. HPG manifold, issues with stuff disappearing when you zoom in. Fix some collision issues. Polar Highlands fix an issue where mechs get stuck between buildings. Fix issue with rocks. River City, they fixed a collision issue in the tunnel entrance. On Sulphur's Rift, they fixed a whole shit ton of stuff. I mean, like, look at this. Floating rocks, collision issues, issues where mechs get stuck, issues where footprints apparently looked like they were left in snow. Fixing an issue where footprints would appear as if the ground were made of snow. Unfortunately, this also fixed an issue where shooting the ground would eject a hilarious fountain of snow. It will be missed. You will be missed, no fountain. Okay, that's pretty good. Fix some more collision issues. Issues where you get stuck on pipes and stuff like that. So there you go. Thermic Conquest. We're going to deal with that. Tourmaline fixing some issues where some crystals were floating. Mechs were impeded at an incline. So, mostly just overall general fixes to make things good. Now, mech fixes and changes. A lot of this, from what I'm looking at, is from the mech lab. So, for example, the Stalker, the fire starter. Collective Blast was not rendering correctly in the mech lab. Fixed. The Jenner. All variants of the Jenner. They fixed an issue where hanging cockpit items would conflict with the mounted cockpit items. Fixed. Nova, additional structure quirk present in the left torso and right torso omnipods have been moved to the center torso. The Orion 1P fixed an issue where the compact glass was not rendering correctly in the mech lab. The Panther 10P fixed an issue where ballistic weapons were missing textures in certain patterns. And last but not least, the Stalker all variants fixed an issue where warlords would cover the weapon door. And so other fixes and changes. The unit member list can now be sorted by name, rank, and status. Fixed an issue where players were unable to assign rank privileges to certain conditions. Joining a unit with an existing contract loyal will inform you of the details prior to your acceptance. Fixed an issue where Alt F4 during a drop deck mech select screen could cause issues with rejoin. So basically, if you Alt F4 the game by to exit it because of some problem, it would give you issues with the rejoining. It'll also give you issues when you crash, or when you're trying to start the next match, too. Fixed an issue when weapon doors on mechs were not casting shadows. They wanted spring to come early. Fixed an issue where ended round screen was not showing damage done in the C-bill breakdown section. That was happening for a few people. They changed it so that the threshold for voice detection and VoIP is gone, which is pretty good. Fixed an issue where equipped and mounted cockpit items could be heard to see inside the cockpit item screen. Haven't had that issue. Fixed an issue where the Phoenix cockpit icons were not oriented correctly in the cockpit screen of the warehouse. And last but not least, the known issues. So the known issues. Faction and mercenary rank titles will not display on the website forum profile. That's not a known issue. They just never said that was available. Faction loyalty rank title may appear incorrectly after rejoining a faction you deserted from the past. Also, make sure the one you left. We'll get into that. Basically, what happens if you have loyalty and you desert, aka you leave before your contract is up, you lose 25% of your loyalty points and your money that you made. So, mercenary rank titles will display only as mercenary while in match. Well, that's actually not a bad thing. I think that's the way it should be. There is currently no method for a unit to locate its claimed planets. Yeah, that's a bit of a pain in the ass. Okay, so that is all the non-fun stuff. So let's look at the quirks. So there is obviously a modification to quirk for a whole ton of inner sphere mechs and a few clan mechs. We're going to look at the clan mechs first. So from what I've been told is the clan mechs, most of it is heat dissipation for the lights, which is right here. Heat dissipation plus 15, heat dissipation. Yep. And structure changes. So a lot of them are getting buffed structurally. Ice Ferret, yeah, it's all structure buffs. Are being moved to the center torso, basically. The odd negative, or the odd structure point is being removed, obviously, as I said, from the legs and the arms. And it's being moved basically to the center torso. So left, right torso, left arm, left leg, right leg. Okay, cool. So they basically moved everything to the center torso of that specific mech, which makes sense. Blue text is unchanged. Green text means the quirk has been added or existing quirk has been increased. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the clan mechs. So it's all basically moving the additional structure of the legs and the arms from the torsos to the center torso of the mech, which is pretty good. Now, the inner sphere mechs. Now this has obviously been changed. The first thing is the heat generation for the Locust is no longer 25%; it's now 5%. It gets obviously the plus 18. Like all light mechs get plus 18 for heat dissipation. Let's see here. 1M loses heat generation of 25% to 5%. The 1V gets more acceleration, additional structure, obviously heat dissipation. The 3M speed and acceleration, deacceleration. Energy generation is reduced by half from 10 to 15 from 10 to 5. I'm yawning like a motherfucker this today. I don't know why. 2 in the afternoon. Heat dissipation is up to 18%, so just like every other light. Or well, it depends on what it is, but most of them, like down here, the Commando's 6. So acceleration turn rates, dissipation. Acceleration turn rates loses some structure but gains some structure. Heat dissipation. Pirate's Bane, heat dissipation and acceleration and turn speeds, which is pretty good. Commando loses 5% of its heat generation from 10% down to 5. Heat dissipation of 6. Oh, 6 for the 1D and the 1B. But then the 2D has 12% heat. Interesting. Okay. 3A has 6%. And then the Death Knell has 6%, but it also loses half of its heat gen as well. The Firestarter, here we go. Flamer range, plus 15% on all variants. Machine gun rate of fire on the Amber of plus 25%. But it doesn't get the heat dissipation quirk. Interesting. Urban Mech gets the heat dissipation of 18% on all 3 of its variants. The Spider, no heat dissipation, but it does get acceleration and deacceleration quirks of 50% of an additional, 20% on most of them? From 30 to 50, from 40 to 60. 40 to 70. God damn it. I'm yawning like a motherfucker. The General over here, the Oxide, no changes. Really? No changes in the Oxide. Apparently the Vindicator 1R gets heat dissipation of plus 6%. Interesting. PVC velocity plus 50% from 40%. Acceleration, deceleration, turn rates. The SIB St. Blue. Laser duration's down from 25 to 10. Energy range is fine, but energy cooldown and heat generation are up. They're doubled from 5 to 10% on each. Acceleration, deceleration turned down, and turn rates increased. The 1X heat dissipation of plus 6. Ballistic cooldown's going from 20 to 30. Energy cooldown is... Oh, interesting. It wasn't on there before. It is now. It's 10%. PVC velocity is going from 30 to 50. Acceleration turn rates. Hunchback 4G now has a quote-unquote decreased chance of getting critted of 25%. Pretty good. The Griffin 2N has a PPC velocity from 40 to 50, which is it's an ER PPC velocity of 40. It's now a regular PPC velocity of 50. Interesting. Catapults. Massive structure unbuff. Almost by half. That's a lot. Thunderbolts TD. The top dog, acceleration, deceleration changes. Black Knight 6 and 6B. That's gonna hurt. Structured buffs or debuffs almost have half for a lot of stuff. Almost. Yeah, it's quite a bit. Most of it's 4 actually. So, like, structure from the center torso is going down to 17 on all of them from 23. 16 for the left arm? Oh, left and right torso. Whoops. It's going from 16 to 12. Arms are going from 12 to 9 on all of them. And legs are going from 16 to 12 on all of them. So, there you go. Black Knights are getting nerfed a little bit. They're going to be easier to take down. And then King Crabs... the triple O is getting an AC AC20 cooldown have doubled up, so it's going from 5 to 10. The Quad Deuce, or the Quad Zero, energy cooldown's going from 15 to 20%. Yaw speed's going up from 25 to 35%. The Triple B, or Triple OB, is going, let's see here, ballistic velocity is being increased by 10% from 20 to 30. Energy range is now added in there for 10%. And torso yaw speed as well is being upped on this one to 35%. So that is the clan, or the inner sphere changes for the Quirks, which is pretty good in my eyes. So the next thing we're going to look at is the Terminate Support Pack. So basically what it is as it was announced in previous videos, basically if you purchase this package, it's $5 American. Basically, part of it goes towards the tournament prize. Basically what happens is for that time frame that you purchase it, pretty much starting now, whenever it goes on sale today, to the time the tournament ends, very much at midnight on the 3rd, you get more XP, I believe it is. There's some blah 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 blah. Yeah, you get 10% boost to C-bill and XP earnings, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good for $5 when you think about it. And obviously here is all the community warfare stuff. So that's going to be in the next video. What I'm actually going to be doing is breaking down all this information into multiple different videos. So this is going to be the patch review for patch number 1.4.65, non-community warfare related patch information. So obviously, as I said, so this is all your tournament support pack information, booster information, mechs available, map fixes, basically it fixes changes, known issues, and